Hi there, it's Tracy Farquhar here on this much anticipated New Year's Day 2021. I thought I'd pull some cards today to get some guidance for the new year. So, the intention in pulling these cards was what's in our highest good? What's going to help guide us into this new year in the best way possible? And this is what I got. So, I pulled some cards from my tarot deck that I use all the time for readings, which is the Barbara Walker deck. And then I also pulled some cards from a couple oracle card decks that I have. So we're going to look at all of those and see what we get. So the first three cards here represent past, present, and future. And then the fourth card is what I call an action card, and that sums up the meaning of the first three and gives us a sense of action to take going forward. So when we look at the past card, it's this Five of Swords. And it's not surprising that we came up with a Swords card for the past, because Swords is the most challenging of the suits in the tarot. And the 5 is also one of the most challenging numbers in those suits. So this card has a sense of being stuck, being defeated. You can see that is the word on the card, is defeat. The guy is kind of stuck up in the tree there, at least it appears that he is. And so it kind of reflects on what we've been feeling this past year. The sense of being stuck, some things being out of our control, the sense that other people are in charge and in control, and that we're just kind of hanging out waiting to see what happens. So a lot of that's true. You know, we have been in that situation. It's a very difficult situation for us to be in. It has made us rethink our sense of what it means to be in control, what it means to be defeated or manipulated or stuck. And yet it's not just reflecting on that. It's also asking us to consider that how that played out was not really just to show us how it feels to be stuck like this. It was to show us that sense of being stuck is an illusion. That as much as we cannot control the external circumstances of our lives for the most part, we certainly could not control the pandemic. We can't control the decisions that people in higher places are making. We can't control other people at all. But what we can control are the decisions and choices that we make around the circumstances that are being presented to us. And when we really start to focus on that, when we really bring our attention to the question, how am I going to respond to this in the best way possible? What is in my highest good here? What actions do I need to take in response to the situation that I'm in? That's where we start to feel like we're regaining some of that sense of control. When we resist those things that we can't control, or when we try to manipulate them, that's when we start to feel even more stuck. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't stand up for what we believe. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't speak out when we see and experience injustice. But it's just a reminder to me, to all of us, that feeling of being defeated, that feeling that we are just pawns in some kind of universal game, is an illusion. It's not the truth. We are presented with situations and circumstances and people in our lives to challenge us in a way that can help us to grow and help us to make better decisions, help us to step into our greatness. And it can be very, very difficult to do that. But that's the whole point. If it were easy, we wouldn't be learning much. If everything was just kind of smooth and easy, there wouldn't really be much of a sense of fulfillment, learning, joy, or a sense of achievement that we get from getting through things. So I think it's reminding us, first of all, of what we have gotten ourselves through. And it's reminding us that sometimes what feels like the end of the road is really an opportunity for us to make better choices. The second card here in the present position is the Queen of Swords, and it's come up reversed. I'll turn it around so you can see it. This is not a pretty card in my deck. It's represented by the goddess Kali, and she's a pretty extreme goddess, and she's about destruction and release and letting go. And so, yeah, she's a pretty challenging figure. And as I said, she's come up reversed in this reading, upside down. And the way that I read a reversed card is that it's pointing inward. It's pointing back to us rather than outward. So you can see that this kind of gruesome image is the goddess Kali is really kind of seems to be pulling poison or toxins out of this person's body. And so there is a sense of this present time that we're in right now being a time of release. And with, again, this card being reversed and pointing inward, it's asking us to look at ourselves at this time, right now, as we start this new year, and really ask ourselves what we need to let go of so that we can start this year in the best way possible, so that we can clear our energy of anything that may be holding us back. And so with these two cards working together, to me it's saying release that sense of being powerless. Release that sense of being stuck. And begin to feel the energy moving us forward. Begin to see the potential and possibilities that this year is presenting to us. And really look at yourself and what you have learned about yourself over this past year. And recognize the things that you have been holding on to as truths about yourself that really are not truth. And really work toward releasing those things. So if you have a tendency to think that you're not enough and you've made it through this year, well, that ain't true. So it's time to release that. If you have held on to beliefs about what you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to be doing, and you've had some epiphanies or revelations about that over this past year, it's time to release these old, outmoded ideas and beliefs about yourself so that you can start to see what's possible in this new year. Again, this is not an easy process, and that's why this card is so dramatic. It's also about releasing emotions, releasing anything that you've kind of held back. Emotions that are held in and not dealt with eventually can start to manifest as physical issues. And that's one of the reasons why this card is a really physical looking card with that gruesome image. You know, if you are holding back emotions or pushing them aside, they're not going far. They're going to get stuck in your energy field, and eventually they're going to wind up stuck in your body somewhere. So now is the time to be really aware of where you may be doing that and start setting some intentions for release, maybe creating some kind of ritual for release. The new year is a good time to write things down that you want to release and burn them, or write them on a little Alka-Seltzer tablet and throw them in water. Whatever makes you feel like you're releasing something out of your energy field, now is a perfect time to do that. And I think this card is very timely, as it's the present card and it's saying now is the time. The third card, also reversed, is the future card, and it's a very beautiful card. As you can see, it's the Lovers. So of course there's a very literal meaning with the Lovers. You know, it can be referring to romantic relationships, but it can also be referring to any other kind of love relationship. To me, with the card being reversed here, in the way it's come up in the future, I'm going to turn this one back over. It's all about self-love. So looking at this card as the future card, again with the intention of what is in our highest good to know about the future, and the progression of these three cards, it's saying get some truth about who you really are and what you've been through and what you're capable of. Release any ideas about yourself that are not true. Things that you have benefited from in this pandemic can help you see yourself more clearly so that you can love yourself more. So the Lovers reversed is saying, if you want to move forward into your best possible future this year, start out by setting some very, very clear intentions about self-love, self-care, self-awareness. Think about the things you most value in your relationships with others, the people that you love, whether that's romantic love, family, friends. Think about what's very precious to you about those relationships. Haven't we really been able to see that even more clearly because we've been kept apart from some of our loved ones? And so if you can look at those things that you appreciate so much, and perhaps the things that you miss so much about being with those people, and you can say, how can I find those aspects within myself? If I appreciate the way someone makes me laugh, if I appreciate the way someone listens to me and is compassionate with me and just loves me for who I am, can I be that for myself? Because if you can be that for yourself, you are then emanating that energy into the universe, into your surroundings, into every person that you come into contact with, whether it's in person or not. And this is how we start a wave of love in the universe that will help us heal. So this is a very powerful message to come here at this place and time as our future. The future is determined by the way that we love. And the way that we love is determined by how much we love ourselves. The fourth card here is the action card, and this is the card that sums everything up here. And it's a swords card again. It's the 10 of swords. Again, not a very pretty card. And clearly it's a card about being hurt. The word on the card is ruin. And as the card that sums everything up, again, I feel like it's saying, this felt like a year of ruin. This felt like so many things were ruined for us. Our plans, some of our careers, our jobs, places of business that, feel like they're in ruins. Our government has felt like it's in ruins. That sense of just feeling like everything has been pulled into question. And how hurtful that has been. This guy with the sword sticking in him is not having a good time here. So, kind of summing up how this year has felt to us. Not just to rub it in, but to say, this was tough. And you're still here looking forward. You're still making plans for what's next. You're still anticipating things getting better. And if that's the truth, with all that you've been through, you may have lost loved ones. You may have been sick yourself. You may have lost a job. You may have had lots of things called into question in your life. Or you may have just been witnessing all of that. Just witnessing all of that is challenging enough. If you're still here and you're still moving forward and you're still having dreams and hopes and desires for the year ahead, your life isn't ruined. The phoenix rises up from the ruins. And to me, that's what 2021 is all about. Maybe not today, but as we move through this year, we're going to really be able to see how we rise up from the ashes of this year. Stronger and smarter and wiser and more determined for things to get better. And no, it's not going to be easy. But we're going to do it because we have to, and because we can, and because that's what we came here to do. So again, this sense of defeat and ruin, yes, it's felt like that. But is that really the truth? Have we been defeated? Have we been ruined? I don't think so. But we've had to go through the feelings of that. Again, and that's what the goddess Kali is about. The idea that things have to be destroyed before they can be built back up. And when they are built back up, they're built up in a better way. And that's what I'm really strongly feeling 2021 is about. And we're tired and we're still feeling defeated, but it's okay. The combination of self-love, self-awareness, self-care, nurturing, compassion, the divine feminine energy that is so important right now, really calling on all of that, our inner wisdom, our higher consciousness, our guides, our angels, source itself. We can do it, and we're already doing it. So I also pulled these two cards from a couple oracle decks that I have. This one is from Colette Baron Reid's Wisdom of the Oracle, which has some really beautiful images on it. And of course it has an owl on it. And those of you who know me know I have a thing for owls. And this is a card that says, Truth Be Told. So again, the intention was to pull some cards for some wisdom and guidance for the year ahead. And this card is about truth. Again, it's reflecting some of the things we already said over here, especially with the Queen of Swords card, which is about releasing things that are not true, especially when it's reversed. So the Truth Be Told card is asking you to really see the truth of yourself, and also to count on your intuition to know what the truth is. We've spent a lot of time in this year trying to determine what the truth is. There's been a lot of that's caused us a lot of stress this year. And hopefully for some of us, we've really called upon our own sense of truth to really determine that. We've been able to connect more deeply with our intuition and our intuitive sense of truth. And again, really being truthful with yourself about who you are, what makes you happy, what you really want in your life can be another thing that hopefully has been inspired through these challenges. So this is the year where we are having the opportunity to apply those truths to our lives as individuals and as a collective. The other oracle card I pulled is from the Earth Magic deck by Stephen Farmer. Really, again, very beautiful images. And the card here is the tree. And is this a card about grounding? So again, I think it's very appropriate reminder to us to practice some grounding. This year has totally thrown us off balance. It's made us kind of pull all of our energy up into our heads, trying to figure things out, up into a place of fear and worry. Perfectly natural responses to what has been going on. The tree is reminding us to find a way to ground ourselves. Just like the tree gets its nourishment by sending its roots down into the earth, we need to do that as well. And you can do that by getting outside, or you can do it just with intention, sitting inside with your feet on the floor and really imagining those roots coming out of the bottom of your feet into the earth. And spending some time really connecting in that way. If you're in a place that's too cold to get outside for long periods of time, you can still do that from inside. But if you can get outside, even if it's just a walk from your car to your house, do it intentionally. Stop for a couple of seconds and really feel the energy of the earth coming up through your feet. And know that that earth energy is part of who you are. And that's a nurturing, healing energy that's supporting you in every way. And it's always available to you. But you want to bring some consciousness to your ability to connect with it. The tree also sends its branches up into the heavens to get its nourishment from the heavens, from the air. And so it's sort of a balance between the physical and the spiritual that's being called upon for us in this new year. So whatever helps you to feel more balanced, more grounded, more centered in yourself, it's time to really start to create some practices around that, whether it's meditation, walking, that what I just said, a grounding ritual, journaling, just really connecting with yourself and very consciously connecting with the things in your life that make you feel more centered in yourself and more grounded. Is there a little hobby that you can pick up that's meditative? I happen to pick up crocheting. I used to crochet a long time ago. And over the few months before Christmas, I started crocheting gifts. And it was a very meditative practice, and I enjoyed it so much. And it really brought me back into myself and brought me to a sense of peace, and I was happy doing it. It's just a very simple thing. So is there something like that you can bring into your life that helps you to feel that way? Don't wait for those things to come to you. Practice them, set intentions around them, bring your awareness to them. So I hope this has been helpful to you as we start the new year. We still have a long way to go, of course we do, but we're coming into this new year with a sense of hope, a sense of what's possible, what's the potential of the year, of each of us as individuals, of us as a collective. If there has ever been a time for us to see how strong we are, this is it. So I hope you take advantage of that wisdom and that knowledge. And I wish you a very happy new year. I have a birthday coming up on Monday. And so sometimes I give stuff away on my birthday. So stay tuned to Facebook on Monday. You might find some surprises coming up then to celebrate another year of life. All right. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.